Welcome to Ngosi Talk Shows. Lead from within.
Find your own voice.
Challenges we have had to overcome in 2020.
Find your own voice.
The world has become united by the unseen, knowing there are no guarantees for tomorrow.
Lead from within.
Find your own voice.
Let the world hear your voice and be filled within.
For the day has come for you to be a great leader.
The time has come to break away from the pain, distraction, experience the unthinkable.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Ngosi Talk Show. Find your own voice, lead from within. So with me today, I've got Dr. Elena, and I'm going to let Dr. Elena introduce herself so she can tell us about her credentials and her expertise. Over to you, Dr. Elena. Please introduce yourself to our audience, who you are, and take the stage, please.
Thank you so much for having me. I am so excited to be here. I'm Dr. Elena Zachary Ross. I'm in the United States, in Michigan, right 40 minutes outside of Detroit. I've spent my career, 26 years, as an educator. I've been a school psychologist. I've been a principal, and now I've been serving for the last 9 years as superintendent of schools, and that's over all of the schools. And over my years in leadership, it has had me to develop a company called AZR Leads. And it's all about leading yourself so that you can best lead your family, so you can best lead others in your business.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Elena. So our topic today is the ultimate guide to successful dating. So everyone wants to find that special person, but it's not that everyone can do it and in a successful manner. You know, let's think of this as building a successful business. Everyone wants to own their business, but not everyone can have that courage to actually be successful and begin building their business and cherish those moments. So in online dating, if you like to be successful, you need to start off right. So build your profile in the right manner, and then secure the final lasting reward out there, which is your image. So today we are going to cover different things, and I'm going to let Dr. Elena put her input on this one.
Absolutely. I love it because you know what? You use the word courage. And oftentimes we have so many doubts about ourselves, doubts about the way we look, doubts about our weight, doubts about our personality, doubts. And we've got to move beyond those doubts to have the courage to really look into ourselves, to see who we really are and look for our own strengths, our own beauty, our own abilities, because when we have those doubts, when we lack that courage, those people will see that when we create our profile, when they first meet us, and it really diminishes those good dating skills that we already have. We've got to have that courage first.
Thank you so much. Dr. Elena. I like it the way when you say we have to have the courage and we have to know who we are as a person, because if you don't know who you are, you're going to find it really, really hard to actually go and start finding the person that you are looking for, because you have to, there's so many things that you need to think about, to ask yourself some questions as well. So I'm going to add to what you've just said. You have to basically ask yourself, what am I looking to achieve during online dating experience? And the big picture, like you've covered, what am I looking for? Who am I? So then once you know who you are, what are you looking to achieve in that experience? And what are you hoping will be the methods that you do that? So you have to have a method. You have to know the process. How are you going to do it? And who are you looking for, especially? Now you know who you are. Who are you looking for? And what are you willing to do to make that happen? Because some people, they talk about it, but they've never really take action. And the other one is, you can ask yourself, like, can I dedicate some time to make everything come together? Because you have to make some time. Like here today, we are here today doing live, we've made some time. So online dating is the same. So I don't know if there's anything as well you would like to add on that one.
Absolutely. You talked about it starts off with that great profile, but then people just sit and wait. They wait at home, they turn on the computer and hope that someone has responded, but it takes work, it takes action. It might even take it, and we start off with courage and self-identity, but then when we know what we're looking for, we've got to go out, do the work, maybe initiate some of the conversation, write to someone and ask them a question. And the thing is, if we know, you talked about, know that ideal companion, know the characteristics that that person has, are we asking those questions that will help us to identify, does this match that criteria? Because, you know, there are some people that look good on the outside, but if they don't match that thing that we want, that ideal person that we're looking for, then it doesn't end up with that lasting, ultimate dating experience. And so I just love it because you talk about the fact that it is going to take action. It's going to take us moving a little, sometimes out of our comfort zone, and going out, writing to that person, connecting with that person, asking questions. And then if that first one doesn't work, guess what? That's why this is about the ultimate guide, because it's not about being perfect the first time. It's about personal excellence every day for themselves to reach out, because you want to have somebody that matches your personal excellence. And that's why it becomes ultimate, because it's those people that have that equal connection. Oh, I can't hear anymore.
I'm muted.
Okay.
So thank you so much. You talk about identifying that the person that you're looking for, do they match what you are looking for? Do they match what you want? And basically, I actually agree with you, because if you jot down the things that you want and then you don't match what you wanted, the person that you are looking for does not match what you want, and you talk about sometimes the people can lead us to think, basically, there's some people, when you go and date, they listen to what you want and then they go along with you. They say, oh, this is what I'm looking for. Sometimes it could be simple, you're beautiful, and they just want to play. So you have to be aware of those things and spending a good time. There's some people that actually, when they're online, they say, I struggle a lot to actually find dates that matches what I'm looking for. So you have to spend time developing your profile. If you go on LinkedIn, anyone who has a business, they stand out, because they want people to get in touch with them. They want to connect with people. So that is the same thing with the dating. Sometimes I go on dating site, you see people have selfies. So I don't think a serious man will contact you if you have a selfie on your dating profile. And spend time basically looking for people like you that you want to meet on that dating profile, and spend a few hours returning emails. Some people, like what you were saying, that people talk, they never really give a time, like to say, okay, this is what I want, this is what I'm looking for. I'm gonna put some time and effort to actually be interested, so I can find the desires that I want, to find the things that I want. So you have to give it a time, because like right now, we have businesses. You have a business yourself, or you got kicked out. So you have a business, and and when you have a business, you need to get in touch with people. You need to get in touch. You need to be seen on social media. So that is the same thing. That's how I see with dating. When you are creating your dating profile, or when you meet people. Sometimes I'm not sure whether you agree with me. I don't agree with people saying what to wear on a dating. When you go on a date, what do you need to wear? They want advice. They're looking for advice from people, because once you know your image, your identity, and if you don't know your identity and your image, and you go and find someone online, type, what do I need to wear? Can you just imagine the picture if you've never looked at that way? What do I need to wear going on dates? And then I give you advice. This is what you need to wear. And then you go on that date. You're not going to look comfortable.
No, and you're so right, because you know what? We're all caught up, many of us, with this imposter syndrome. We think that somebody one day is going to find out that we're not truly who we are, or that we're not good enough, or that we're a fake. But you know, when we really put out on a profile who we really are, when we go out on the date wearing things that we're comfortable with, we're setting that right expectation. We wonder why sometimes you only have one date, and that's it. And there's never the second date. There's never the follow-up, because they knew you were uncomfortable. They knew that you were operating in some kind of way that you thought somebody else wanted you to operate in. But it's going to be more important than ever now, especially after this pandemic. People want the real self. They know authenticity, and they've been looking for somebody real, just like you have. And so when a person is doing that, wearing something they're not comfortable with, folks know. And so it's true. When we look at that mirror, if we care and love and just say, you know what, this is who I am. And that person is going to be with me, hopefully, for a long, long time. We're not just looking for one date here. We're looking for our soulmate. We're looking to be totally connected. And when we go out and when we dress the way our authentic self is, the thing that makes us unique. We wear those clothes. We have our hair a certain way. We dress the way we do because we're unique, and we've got to embrace that. And that person that's meant to be, they're going to love it too.
100% true, because I have a dating agent, I have an image stylist, a consultant, but I never ask them to actually tell my clients what to do. I always ask them, because they have to go through the coaching before they go out on dating. So I have different coaches that coaches my clients to understand their identity, their image. And then once you understand your image, then you'll be able to say, this is my identity, this is my image. These are the kind of dress that I like to wear. These are the kind of trousers or tops that I like to wear. And this looks good. When I do my hair like this, it makes me feel good as a woman. And you'll be able to, although I have a stylist, image stylist, when they go out with you to basically to pick your clothes, they are not actually the one that are picking your clothes. They are like, because you've been coached now, they are like a body. They are there as a body. You call the shot, like the colors. They have to help you with the colors if it looks good on you.
Yes.
That's all. You get to call the shots, because some people, they go to dating coaches and they're like, I need you to tell me what will look right for me when I go on date. Can you just imagine? Of course, it's a common sense. You can't go wearing a suit when you're meeting someone on a date. So everything is all about common sense. You're not going for job interview. You are going to have fun. So you just have to, basically, you are selling yourself out to say, this is the woman or this is the man that you're going to spend the rest of your life with. So am I good enough for you? And also your character, how you speak, how you talk, how you communicate with that person. Some people, they're like, you can go for communication. That one with the dating coach, you can go for communication because there are some things that needs to be left talked with friends, not with the dating people, not with your dates. So there are some things that you can say. I tell you one thing. I sent my clients for date one day. They didn't come out. They came out. There was no match between them. But when they came out, they knew how much maintenance the other person is paying for their children and they knew everything. And I was like, and then I'm getting feedback to the other person, and they're like, okay, she was telling me how much her ex is paying for the thing. I was
Too
like,
much.
and the woman was like, he was telling me why his ex did it. Basically, I was like, did you actually have a time to have a date or connect
with each other?
No, but they were actually coached, but they decided actually we're just gonna do our own thing, like the better habit, like we normally do. And they came out, and the other one was upset, and the other one was upset. So it happens. It does happen. Sometimes just because you've been coached, it doesn't mean people follow their principles. So I don't know with your
no, absolutely. I think, people come all of the time to get coaching, and they think that coach is just to tell them what to do. But really, the coach is a good facilitator, and they help that person develop. But like you said, when they actually go on that date, they've got to be ready to go on their own. That's why when you have those coaches who work with those individuals, they're listening for that person to talk really about what they want, what their character is, what they truly are looking for in an individual, because that helps to set up that perfect date. And then once they're in that situation, and that's what you were talking about, when they're in that situation, give them that full attention. You know what? Not the attention of somebody of what you wonder about how much they make or long term, but the attention that one date to get to the next date. How about that? Let's have a great date, get to know one another so that we can get to a next date. And so that's really funny, because you're right. Oftentimes people want to get to the date. They think, oh my goodness, he looks so handsome. She's so beautiful. I want to be together forever. But are we compatible? Do we have the things that will make us enjoy life with one another? And that'll only happen by talking about what your likes are, talking about your interests, talking about those things that you dream about and hope for. The past is the past. And if it gets past those other dates, you'll learn about that too. But that's not the time. That is so funny that they had that and they both came out with all that information.
And to our audience, those who are watching, please type the questions or just put your input, what you think about what is a successful date. Please just type and have fun with us. I think you're right, because it's nice to, for me, if I was single, if I was to meet somebody on a date, first thing, if I'm chatting to somebody, I need to know what they do, because if I have my own life, I work very hard. So I need to know that this person that I'm going to meet, before I even chat moving forward, I need to know who you are, where you best, and what do you do. Once I know who you are, what do you do, then I'm going to look at your profile now. But then the pictures can mislead people, like you're talking about the looks. Some people look different. Or now I've had women who are sending me pictures, and men, they look, basically, they don't look handsome, they just look ordinary. But when you meet them, you are like, wow. Am I meeting the same person? They're like, wow. Good looking, they're amazing, their personality is amazing. So sometimes the pictures can mislead. So sometimes it's very, very important not to judge people by pictures. So and then what we'll do is then moving forward to the next step is, now I need to find out. I don't want to talk too much on the phone with somebody. Don't talk too much on the phone. Or once you know who they are, where they live, what they do for living. You don't want to waste your time going 2 weeks and talking to the same person. That is going to waste your time and they're not going to be compatible. Now we have to arrange date. Let's go and meet, because we don't have to wait. Let's go and meet, public places. Once we meet, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Yes, you know what? Because when you meet, you'll see if it's that connection, that energy, right? That's that's why we talked about be in the moment. Find out if you have that energy and that connection, and if it's worth moving forward. So you think about it. You have goals, you have dreams. Do some of those align with you? Can you see yourself in their future? Can you see yourself accomplishing the dreams that you have? Because you don't lose yourself in all of this. You gain more, you blossom even more, and they should blossom more. So that's why that time together is exceptional and important, to see about the chemistry and the energy, and to see if those next steps align with one another. And guess what, Namsa? If it doesn't, isn't that okay? It's okay, because you just said it. We're looking, we don't want to waste too much energy on the phone. We want to see if that connection happens. And if it doesn't happen, if it doesn't seem like it's aligned, sometimes we're just trying, and we know it wasn't a good fit. We know that's not the best situation for us, but we still want to keep going. That's when it's time to say no. No, I'm going to go to the next person, because I deserve to be happy. I deserve to be able to have this wonderful dating relationship. And we don't need to spend too much time if we have that meeting session and it's not a connection. What do you think about that?
So true. You don't want to waste your time. And also some people, like we talk about this at the beginning, that some people, they know exactly what they want, and they know that they have to be themselves when they meet someone on that date. But then sometimes some people, they will feel like, I used to do this was my better habit, one of my better habits as well. Before I go into personal development, I meet someone, I know what I want, they tell me what they want, I feel that I have to change to meet their needs. So those are the things that I used to do 12 years ago, 10 years ago. And it didn't work for me, because that wasn't something that I want. Basically, my relationship will end up the same way, because I didn't follow my principles. I knew exactly what I wanted. I knew my image, who I was. But then when I meet someone, I felt like I had to change. But that wasn't the case. I didn't have to. And also, I agree with you, wasting time. Some people, they're like, I've seen even on Facebook, people asking questions. I met this guy and I've been talking, or I met this woman, I've been talking to her 2 weeks, she's not responding to me. If someone is not responding, number one, there could be a problem. They're sick, they're in a hospital. Number two, they're not serious, they're wasting your time. Number three, they could have big problems, maybe family member passing away. I've had people worrying about somebody, but at least it's nice to send a text and say, listen, this is what I'm going through at this moment. But if that person, I always believe that if someone at the beginning, they are making you guess, your mind is playing, I don't think it is the right thing for you to go ahead, because you need things that are straightforward. Like, let's say if I'm going on a date now and then I have a problem with my family or with myself, this coronavirus is going on, I just have to take a text and say, listen, this is what I'm going through right now. Because if that is happening from the beginning, it's going to happen again in the relationship. They're going to go quiet. And then you're going to keep guessing. It's called mind games. But people don't realize it. So what is your take on this one?
Oh, yeah. How things start are always how things finish. We oftentimes meet people and we're not getting that response. And we're just so hopeful. Oh, they will change. Oh, it will get better. how it is and how they present themselves is how it will continue. So if there's a problem, you're right. We have so many ways of communicating. We can we can write them on Facebook and on Messenger and on text. But if there's not that communication at the beginning, that same frustration that they're experiencing at the beginning, they're going to be that frustrated later. And the whole point of it is that they have a good, long-lasting relationship. And those are not good signs that there's going to be a good, long-lasting relationship. And so it's really important that they're not trying to change themselves, that they don't go back and think that's on them. That's on the person that's not communicating. That's not on the person on the receiving end. And you've got to say, is this something? That's part of the question about truly in this successful dating. Is this something I'm going to be willing to deal with long term? Sometimes we think we can, and it doesn't last. We only can deal with it for a few months or maybe a year, and then we're just so frustrated. And we saw these signs in the very beginning.
Knew the signs wasn't right.
Right.
Yes, there are some people, I'm sure you've heard this for a long, in so different places where someone says, well, I knew the signs from the beginning were not right, but I went along anyway, and they are regretting what they're doing. So you have to, basically, I agree with you. You have to basically the signs from the beginning. And that person, that's what I always tell my clients, that when you go on a date, observe how your date is speaking to people around you, how they are speaking with you, how they are addressing themselves. Sometimes it could be nerves because it's the first time, but there's a difference between nerves and somebody basically leading you on, or somebody, there are some people who are aggressive, and you can see them from the beginning, but then they make excuses there and there that, like, let's say if the food wasn't cooked right, and they serve that man or that woman the food, all you got to do is excuse yourself and ask the waitresses to actually change the food and give you proper food that is good. No need of being aggressive or anything. So on that, if someone basically on that date, they change their behavior, if things go wrong, they change their behavior, this is how they are going to treat you on that, on moving on. While you guys are dating, that's Absolutely. How it's gonna happen. So you basically have to analyze things. You have to, not in a judgmental way. There are people who are judgmental, but you have to analyze things. It's like when you ask a man or a woman, why? So tell me, what's your story? Why are you single? If the answer is meant to be like similar to, well, I've not found the right man. But if you ask the question and a woman says, oh, well, my ex was a plonker, or they say something else like attacking their ex, they're not over. So you have to, they're not over yet. There's still a war. So you have to excuse yourself. And if a man is saying, you ask them or your ex, and they're like, maybe they had kids with someone, and they're like, oh, she was nasty. They're not over. So you have to excuse yourself, because at the end of the day, we all date people. Things don't work out. We all go through challenging times during dating. By then you have to forgive. Like myself, I went through the divorce, and then found myself as a single mother. But when I went back to dating, before I went back to dating, I had to work on myself.
Yes.
Basically, without blaming myself, without blaming my ex, I had to look at why is my relationship, because all my relationship will go 5 years, 7 years. But that one went up to 9 years.
All right.
And then finish. And then I was like, why my relationship, they all end up with the same way, is the same pattern all the time. So I had to look at that. Why is everything ending up the same way, without blaming myself or without blaming my ex? And then I found the answer that I had to deal with my childhood. There were a childhood attachment that I needed to deal with, because sometimes we think things are okay, but they are not. So I had to create my image. And after creating my image, I had to go back to when I was a child, my identity. I had to rediscover my identity.
Yes.
And once I rediscovered my identity, I had to work on my character. Who do I want to become? Who is Nomsa? Because everyone has principles. You have your own principles in life. You are here at Ngosi Talk Shows, you're speaking, and every place where you go, you know Dr. Alena's principles. And when those principles are violated, you're not going to go back. Or if we violate your principles and Ngosi Talk Show, you're not going to come back. So that's what the relationship is. Well, that's what happens with the relationship. So I had to understand all those things. And then when I was picking the man, I knew what I was looking for. And I had to become that. And looking for someone that is going to love me unconditional. I had to learn to love unconditional. So understanding the spirit of love, what does it mean? Entering someone else's mind and getting to know them very well. So I had to be that. I had to enter this mind and getting to know myself. So over to you. I don't know if you have.
Oh, you talked right about it, because you know what? So oftentimes when we're dating, especially if we've been experienced dating or had past relationships, we go back and blame the other people. All we do is think about when someone asks what happened. We don't talk about what we did. We don't talk about our mindset. We don't talk about the work we had to do. And so now that's what you really explained it so well and gave your own personal story, because it's once we deal with our stuff, our own things, we can then be a great mate. We can then be able to date. And that's where you talked about when we go and talk to someone else. If we are on that date and they're blaming the other person, if they don't see where they have moved on, where they have grown, where they can bring something to you now that they've learned about themselves, boy, is that something you really want? And so I love it. I love the fact that you worked on yourself, that you did that work so that you can then go out and be a better person in that and mate in that relationship. And that, man, that you hit the nail on the head with that one.
Yeah, that is amazing. The thing is that you can actually, I find myself at times looking at my behavior in my past relationships, and I was like, I'm not. I don't know how to fight this one. I'm gonna be honest. I can't fight people because I wasn't raised that way. But when I look at my relationship, my behavior, like sometimes the silent, like you didn't do what I wanted today, I am gonna talk to you.
Oh, you wouldn't say it. Give them the silent treatment.
Oh yes. At the time, I thought it was amazing. I thought it was good. But when I looked back, when I started doing my module for my psychology degree, I would just laugh and I would be like, wow, that was me. This was me. This is what I used to do. And sometimes I would just do something, let's say if I was tired, working and tired, and I didn't want to go out, and my ex will come and say, let's go out and visit families. Instead of me saying, no, I can't do it today, I'm really tired, I would just drag myself and go along because I felt like it was the right thing to do. And he was the same people pleaser as well. Didn't know how to say no. If you wanted me to do something, I just say yes, everything. yes, I can do it.
No matter what you really wanted.
Yes. And in the end, it's exhausting. I don't know if you have ever experienced it. It's exhausting. And you get frustrated. You get stressed for no reason.
Yeah, you know, sometimes we're taught that, right? Like we're taught really young, and you talked about going back to childhood that, you know, when we say no, that means that we're hurting someone. When we express our own thoughts and what we want, maybe we're being selfish. But you know, I think when we are upfront really early, when we're able to express it, you said it in a polite way, in a way that's loving, a way that's kind, then that person we want to be with understands. But when we're silent, when we don't say anything, when we go along just to get along, then when we finally want things to once we tell them, then the person wonders, well, I thought you liked that. I thought you were happy with me doing that. I thought you wanted to go this place or that place. And it causes later on a big problem. But it's hard sometimes for us to speak out and to speak up, but it's really important when we're talking about a good, healthy dating situation.
Yeah, it is very, very important to actually work on yourself and understand who you are so you can date healthy, because that's what we desire in life. And I realized that, like, when I was ready to go on dates, to go and pick that man that I wanted, I was able to say, because I'm a Christian as well, I was able to say, I know some people, they use manifestation. So I was able to pray to God and say, you know what? My plan is not worked. Let your way be your way. Because, you know, when you ask the higher power, because God is, to me, God is above them all. And
Yes.
when I seek his help, I know that I'm gonna get the things that I want. And I have to be prepared for the consequences if I can actually handle what I have asked for. So yes, sometimes we ask for things and we are not ready. So I remember asking and saying, my way has not worked out. Honestly, I had tried to date the handsome ones, the tall one, the handsome ones.
Yes.
It didn't work. I have tried to date the professional ones, the ones seriously,
I know. Yes.
I'm trying to say, oh, now I need a man who earns good money, good job. It didn't work out that well.
No.
So I was like, so what now? What's next, sir? So I was like, okay, let me ask God, because I've been doing this all alone. I've been saying I'm a Christian. I'm doing this all alone. I was like, let your way be your way. This is what my desires. This is what I want. I just need somebody that will be able to complement who I am as a person. You know who I am, and you know what I've been through, and you know what you know my future, you know my destiny. So give me a man that is going to guide me, that is going to help me to go and reach where I need to be, because I didn't want a man that is going to control my life. Because there are some men, these ones that you meet, they're like, okay, I'll look after you. I don't want looking after. I need a man that it says we'll be there together. We'll go through this journey together. Yes, we'll walk it through together. Not I look after you. I'll be like, I was looked after when I was a baby, but now I don't need looking after.
No.
Because I have to look after myself. Even if that person, they earns more money, they're there to support you. You support each other. So that's what I was looking for. And guess what? God gave me what I asked for, because that's what I said. You know what? My selection, it does not work very well. So, and I've learned that the hard way, even with my business, to say every time I want to develop my business or I want my business to grow, I just say, let your way be your way. What is in my destiny? What is written in my book of life? So I think it's very, very important for me to say to people, if you are looking to go on dates, you are looking to enter the dating game again, like you talk about the image, we talk about the identity, we talk about the character, we talk about matches this thing. You have to analyze if what you've asked it matches the other person. And also it's very, very important to use your beliefs as well. You have to believe in something.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love that. I love that. That's how we're wrapping it to that, wrapping it up to. Also, sometimes we've got to let go of those thoughts that we have about what a relationship should be, about who it is that we want to be with. That might not be the best for us. And when we let that go and use our higher source, use God to direct us, to guide us, to put into our lives who should be there, then we embrace it. We embrace that, because what we thought, oh, he looks that way, or she looks that way, or have these skills, or they're popular, or all of those things, those aren't the things that build a strong relationship. So I love how, yes, we've got to let go and let God do that work. Trust our higher being. If he could create us, he created somebody for us too. And so we've got to believe. And the fact that, you believed that they were out there. See, some people, they've given up. They don't think that there's somebody out there. But I think that is ultimately too, you have faith and believed that there was that mate out there. And that's the part about the dating, knowing that there is somebody out there that was meant for you, and that connection will happen.
I believe that there's always someone for everyone. Like when you are saying people have given up dating, that is true. There are some people who have really, really given up and saying there is no such thing as true love. But guess what? We all been hurt. And if I had given up in love, I wouldn't be in a relationship. But I had to acknowledge that although I've been hurt, and that means my ex has been hurt before with all this breaking up, because we both, when the relationship ends, both parties are getting hurt. So I had to acknowledge that this is who I want to be, and I'm going to continue searching. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to continue searching, because there's going to be somebody that is going to be looking for the same thing that I'm looking for. And I believed it, and I had to do the work. It's exhausting. You have to do, honestly, it's exhausting. You're getting back to dating.
You have to do the work.
Yeah, you have to do the work. It's exhausting, but as long as you don't give up, you just have to, you have to know what you want. You have to know the path where you need to go. Even that path is rough, but you get there, because
stick to it.
Yeah, you get through it, and nothing is easy. People give up, like you're saying, that basically people give up dating and saying there's no such thing as this. But you just have to keep searching, because like what you were saying about God created the earth. So that means he created you, and he created somebody else who matches what you want. And also he knows what you've been through. If you just if you just say, you know what I've been through, and I'm going to have to trust it right now that you're going to bring me the right person in my life. And then he will bring you the right person. But God does not do the work. You have to do the work. And sometimes he can, when you say, this is what I want, and that want, it can be tested as well. You can have trials to test you that. How much do you believe you've been hurt? That means that you have to learn to say no. When you know that the person you're meeting is not the right person, there will be trials. You have to say, this is not the man that I've asked for, or this is not the woman that I've asked for. So for now, I'm going to say no and keep searching. But some people, they give up, and then they're like, I'm going to just pick for somebody for the sake of picking up. And they date, and you go for coffee with them. They are complaining because they picked the wrong person, because they're not happy.
Yeah, you know, and that's why I love the fact that you have a coaching business because, you know, when they start off, people get coaching at the beginning to get the profile, to get prepared for the date, but that coaching might need to continue as as that it goes on because oftentimes we use social media and we put on Facebook or Instagram how we feel, but we have to be able to reflect and talk to that same person that helped coach us along the way, not to make a decision for us, but to say, you know, here's what I'm experiencing. And they can help you think, is this me or is this something that's happening that I need to just disengage and say no to? And so I that's where that support has to be ongoing. We can't just use social media and Facebook to help determine if I'm should be in a relationship or if I should break up or putting all the business out there. That should be a personal thing, personal reflection. And if we're going to reflect, we've got to do it with somebody that we can trust, somebody that's looking out for our best interest and have our whole future in mind.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Elena. Do you have anything, any words of encouragement you like to leave with our audience?
Absolutely. You know, we talked about today the ultimate guide to successful dating. We talked about first starting with identity. That identity development, no matter how old a person is super important. And then we talked about the fact we got to have some real courage. And I want to say to those people out there who might be doubting, who might wonder, have courage, believe in yourself, believe that you will be in a dating relationship. We then said, take action. We gotta put in that work. And lastly, it's not just about us. There's a higher power. I love that you made that connection. We've got to have faith and trust. And sometimes leave away from what we believe we already have believed in. That hasn't worked for us. There is a plan though. There is a person for them. And I just wish them the absolute best.
Thank you so much, Dr. Elena. I basically am gonna leave you with this. I think she has covered everything. So if you are looking for love, and go to your whatever the dating site that you are doing, because with a matchmaker, I'm a matchmaker myself. I'm a love harmonist, so I help my clients. I write their profile. So if you go and on a dating site, you write your profile, make sure your profile stands out. Make sure you write down funny things about you, the things that you love to do. You can create it, sounds like a poem. I think Dr. Elena, she's been kicked out. So, oh, she's back. Yeah, so you can write your profile, make your profile stands out, and take proper pictures. You know, we very lucky nowadays. We have a smartphone. They take professional photos as well. So you can take nice, beautiful pictures and put your pictures out there. Or you can find there are some companies actually that do dating profile pictures. They're not expensive either. I think they're like $150 or £200 or 150 pound. They're not expensive, so you can stand out and basically find that special person. And if you look at the profiles, how they're written, if you feel that, don't waste time on time wasters. Some people feel they have to talk to everybody. You don't have to talk to everybody. Just talk to people that you believe that, and also choose the dating sites that you go to. I'm not a big fan of dating sites, but I believe that if you are willing, if you have time, you can find the right person. And you're not time wasters. If they look at your pictures and they see you're serious, they're not going to contact you. But if they see your profile pictures, you've taken a selfie, they think you want to play. So they want to play. So they come and play with you. So thank you so much. Thank you so much to everyone who has been watching the show. We are here at Ngozi Talk Show Monday to Friday, 1 p.m. UK time. So please, if you are watching this video later, press a heart button and share some love with everybody else. And live with grace, everyone. Anything you want to say, Dr. Lena, before we leave?
I just want to say thank you so much for having me. And I hope that if I said anything that was inspiring, or if someone wants to reach out to me, they will on social media, Alina Zachary Ross or alinazacharyross.com.
Thank you so much. Or you can contact her directly at Ngozi Talk Show. She'll get the message. Live with grace, everyone, and God bless you.